I'm making this video from Iowa. We own a soybean farm here and we are really struggling right now. The entire soybean industry is collapsing thanks to these tariffs and the fact that China has completely cut off all contracts with the United States. They are importing all of their soybeans from Brazil. Thanks to these trade wars, soybean prices have dropped so much that it's pushing all of us farmers into the red in an already difficult year. We're part of the Soybean Farmers Association, and we sent a letter to the president this month urging him to stop this trade war so that the entire industry doesn't go under. On top of that, the tariffs have made all of our farm equipment skyrocket in price. We can barely afford anything right now. Of course, as a farmer, I voted red just like all the other soybean farmers, and now the people we elected are ruining our entire business, our entire way of life, our entire industry. The same thing happened in 2019 when he had the trade war with China. I mean, I know it doesn't make sense that we voted for him again, but we just can't help it. Anyway, any help that we could get urging him to end this trade war would be much appreciated.
Damn it, Obama and Biden. Because of you all, the United States can't sell their soybean, and farmers in West Virginia can't sell their shit, and they're going to lose their homes. And if it wasn't for Biden and Obama, none of that would happen, because then Trump wouldn't have had any reason to go to war with China. And they wouldn't have any reason to be boycotting. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And I'm not going to lie. We were talking about how we want to feel bad for the farmers, because what happens to them happens to us. The problem is they didn't care what was going to happen to us, and it's happening to them first. And you cannot feel sorry for farmers when they done this to themselves. They done this. They endorsed him. They all went out and voted for him, knowing what he did to them his first term. They're like, well, he won't do it again. Okay. Anyway, it's just hard to feel sorry for him. We're all in trouble here. But you know what? They were hell-bent on fucking around and finding out for the second time. And they put us all in this position, not just them. A lot of people, a lot of companies, and a lot of companies are like, oh, well, we messed up. You sure did. Live with it. We have to live with your decision, so enjoy that shit. Take power with it. With your full chest. Remind yourself every morning when your company's going down the shitter, especially if you're a small company. Because they like the big companies. They just don't like the small. Small businesses, they ain't for all that shit. With your full chest, make sure you tell yourself every morning, we done this. Have a great day.
Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So if there is a group of people in the States right now who are literally feeling the heat of FAFO season, this probably are the farmers. Why? Because they are now into the reality show that they all underestimated, and now the reality show is now airing to them right now, and they are literally experiencing the consequences of their votes. So soybean farmers are literally ranting, furious, angered, outraged, lamenting, crying that their farm, their soybeans is rotting in the fields. No one is buying them. There is no market at all. Tariffs are literally killing them. Yeah? International market, no. China is buying zero soybeans from them. They have no contracts. Farm equipments and harvesting equipments, super expensive. The prices of these equipments have skyrocketed because of the tariffs. And all this thanks to the Donald Trump administration, of which they voted for. Yeah, a majority of these soybeans farmers, they voted for these things that are happening right now. And the other day, we saw them. They were asking for hands out, a thing of which previously they called it or termed as socialism. They are now in the harvesting season. But that harvesting season, it's FAFO season. In this video, we are going to look into some farmers complaining and other Americans telling them, you just complain, we have no sympathy on you guys. In fact, you voted for this in as much as we tried to warn you. You also saw this coming since 2018 when you voted for this man for the first time. He imposed these tariffs that literally made you bankrupt. You now tried to recover during Biden's time, and then you forgot everything and you went ahead and voted for him in November last year. Now, it's your season to FAFO. Let's watch this video together, guys, and then I'll be giving my commentaries at the end.
North Dakota farmers are in a bit of a crisis right now, and it seems like people outside of the state are paying attention, so I think it's time that we talk about it. North Dakota soybeans naturally go to the elevator at harvest. Some are stored, but not many. However, this year, we have no sales to China. Zero. Zilch. Goose egg. And we rely a lot on P&W exports. Because we don't really have an export program, we don't have a good basis. Our typical basis around harvest is like 75 under. Right now, we are between $1.15 and $1.50 under. And some places are just contract only, which means they won't take any soybeans that aren't contracted, and some of them won't take any new contracts either. That means that when we're harvesting soybeans, we're going to put them in a bin. Bins are typically used for corn. When we get into corn harvest, we don't got anywhere to go with it. We have to go to the elevator with it. It's going to put more pressure on the corn basis. It's going to put more pressure on the ethanol basis. And we're just going to have ground piles, bags. It's not fun. If you don't have a logistics plan, you're kind of SOL. The problem's real. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to be solved with a government payment.
So I am here because I want to check on the farmers. More specifically, crop farmers, and even more specific than that, soybean farmers. How are you? How's life been treating you? How does it feel to FAFO? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, back in 2018, when Trump was first elected, he placed a heavy tariff onto China. For those of you all who don't know, China is the biggest consumer of soybeans here in America, spending anywhere between $12 to $14 billion annually on soybeans for our farmers. Well, in 2018, when he slapped that huge tariff onto China, they stopped buying soybeans from farmers, causing many farmers to have to get rid of their surplus because since it was not being outsourced to China, it basically was rotting away in silos. So because of this, China started buying its soybeans from Brazil and Argentina, no longer needing the American farmers. So they cut out buying soybeans from us about 17%. Farmers lost billions. Trump had to come back and give, I think, a $12 billion bailout just to keep farmers from going under, right? Now, you'd have thought they'd have learned their lesson back when he was running again, right? Wrong. Again, farmers heavily voted for Donald Trump, saying that, no one needed handouts and living off the government was socialism. How ironic. All right, now, if you're still following me, you know how this story is going to go. 2025 comes, farmers elect him into office. He puts tariffs on China again, and guess what? China is no longer buying soybeans from soy farmers again. So now, because China is getting majority of their soybeans from Brazil and Argentina now, there is no need for American farmers. So guess who is back trying to rally for a bailout because the idiot in chief has screwed them over again. To add insult to injury, Donald Trump negotiated a deal with China. In order for America to keep TikTok, America is going to pretty much own the algorithm. It's a whole bunch of Jews who own the app, part of the app now, whatever. But guess who he did not negotiate for? You guessed it, soybean farmers. I love when a FAFO comes together. Happy Saturday.
Our farmers have grain soybeans rotting in the fields right now, where he's having to take money that they stole from us. They stole from us with tariffs to pay those farmers whose markets he destroyed with the government. So look, I am a common sense Democrat, and apparently it means that I'm going to have to be really, really loud because there's not a lot of folks saying these very simple things. We have to grow our economy. We cannot live in this world alone without alliances, without trade partners. We have to work together.
I'm just going to speak on experience. First-hand experience with these farmers in America who are being undermined by the Trump regime right now. Now, I know most of them are Republicans and they voted for Trump, so I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for your farm going under. Who I do have sympathy for are the illegals that you hire, because farmers have to be the number one supplier of illegal slave work. Okay, I've seen what you guys house these illegal people in. I've seen how you keep them up. I've seen the decrepit housing that you put them in, and then you pay them pennies on the dollar. But yet you vote to have them all removed, and then you cry to Trump when they come to your farms and remove them. So Trump says, let's take a step back. We're going to have to look at this now because, oh God, I can't have the illegals leaving who run the farms for the farmers. Okay, for pennies on the dollar. Look, I don't have no sympathy for you farmers. I don't. And I can grow my own food. So I don't need your fucking food. Okay? Plus, half your food don't even stay here in the United States. It's shipped out. So, you're not hurting my grocery bill. Okay? What you are hurting is human beings who you hire for pennies on the dollar and put them in decrepit housing. You should be ashamed for yourself. And this is what you voted for. So sit in it. And for those who don't do that, and for those who didn't vote for Trump because you knew what you were going to get, he fucked you the first time, he's fucking you the second time. You must really just like to get fucked. I don't know, by a man. But back to what I was saying, I digress. Got a little off topic there. But for those who did not vote for this, I do have sympathy for you. But you better be housing and taking care of these people the way that they should be housed and taken care of. And for those of you who don't, because there's an awful lot of you, sit in that shit.
What are all those starving soybean farmers in the Midwest going to do with the 55 billion pounds of soybeans that China's not buying this year? I know Iowa is going to go nuts for making their own soy milk, and I know that Arkansas is going to go nuts for tofu. I'm sure they're going to love their own homemade miso in Indiana, and I know those North Dakotans are going to love soy yogurt. In Missouri, they can send their kids to school with some whole roasted soybeans for snack and then make their own veggie burgers for lunch and dinner. I have never met a person in the Midwest or the South that doesn't love a good veggie burger. Have you? And no more Baskin-Robbins on a hot summer day in Wisconsin. You won't need your healthy cows because you can make your very own soy ice cream. And it doesn't stop there. Are you going to be cold this winter and you can't afford your heating bill, but you have a ton of extra soybeans, literally? Well, just simply learn how to make your own spray foam insulation with soybeans. Maybe they can make their own biodiesel too. That doesn't sound complicated at all. See, you don't need to blame others. You can just pull yourself up by your own soybeans. Or you could have voted for Kamala, but I guess she had a funny laugh, right?
I had to come inside. It's so dusty. They're cutting beans. And I got to thinking, if soybean farmers really are as pissed off as they say they are, they could take a cue from French farmers. Convoy all those beans down to Capitol Hill and pour them out on the lawn. You lost $12 billion in markets? Let them figure it out. Seriously, do it.
Oh, Indiana is finding out. Indiana, who just announced that they have record soybean hauls this year. But unfortunately, they don't have anybody to sell them to. China, who bought $12.6 billion worth of American soybeans in 2024, has bought $0 this year. Does everybody remember that country we just bailed out a couple days ago to the tune of giving Argentina $20 billion? Yeah, they just undercut American soybean farmers and sold their soybeans to China. I think they call this the double-edged sword, conservatives. I mean, what's it like living your life in a cult for a man and then having him sell you out on both ends? And now look at you, all of y'all waiting for a government handout. Welfare. Something didn't go right in your life, and now you need the government's help. But you criticize everybody else that needs that. You know, if they do bail you guys out, they should put that money on the EBT card so you can feel your own community judging you for once. I mean, and technically, if it's government money, I don't want you being able to buy drinks or candy bars or anything like that with it. So yeah, I think we do need to load this onto an EBT card because this is government money. This not yours.
Let's talk about a very short history. In 2018, the same thing happened. Literally, it happened. Farmers saw this like they experienced the wrath of these tariffs that were imposed by Donald Trump when they voted for him. And now they went ahead and voted for him in November. They forgot everything. The same thing that happened in 2018 is happening right now. This is what we call once bitten, twice shy. Or what can we refer to this? This is like digging down into same problem, voting for the same problem that made you bankrupt. And now, when they come and start complaining, what do they expect the public to take into place, considering the fact that they know very well that this thing happened to them the year 2018, and now they went ahead and voted for Donald Trump in 2024. Tariffs are there affecting everything in terms of farming tools and equipment, in terms of crop production, and also the products that are being harvested. They have no markets. For example, China is not buying these soybeans from America because these farmers, the president has imposed a very high tariff on these products. So China resolved in buying the same products that they were buying in America. They went ahead and bought it in Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. And to make the matters worse, the same problem that farmers are complaining that Donald Trump should bail them out, he went ahead and bailed out Argentina, their biggest competitor. Now, instead of helping the people that voted for him, he helps a country that is literally doing well when it comes to matters of soybeans. He bailed them out. So it means that this man does not give an F about these farmers. In fact, he's in the billionaires club. So if you are not a billionaire, you won't benefit him at all. But yet, the same farmers forget this. They forget this. And they still say, we are in the red movement. We want to make America great again. Now, being bankrupt, filing for bankruptcy, not selling your products, having no workers because of ice raids, is that being great again? Is that literally profiting for your votes? Or that is just a consequence of voting blindly because your yellow man was your man at that time when he was campaigning and he told you that these things were going to happen? Then, if that is so, if you all knew that these things might happen, why rant? Why cry? Why beg for hands out? Why cry, begging, ranting, furious, anger, outraged? And yet you knew very well that they were going to happen. So in simple terms, we'll just tell you one thing. It is your first season. Then please stay humble. Eat your humble pie silently, because people tried to warn you, but you didn't want to listen. And now it's your season to find out. Please find out in silence, because you should actually be enjoying your humble pie. You should enjoy the consequences of your votes, because this is a thing that you voted for in a very straight mind. So enjoy it. Because guys, what else can we tell these people? Honestly, they knew it. we can't be sympathetic. They knew it. Like they knew these things were going to happen. So what else can we tell them? Should we keep on reminding them that they knew it? Should we keep on reminding them that no one cares? Or what should we tell them? Tell me in the comment section, guys. Let's have a discussion. See you in the next video for season.